Hey, it's Angelo Caruso. I'm here at possibly the greatest Rotary District in the world. This is District 6650 in Youngstown, Ohio. And we are having a fabulous time. We're talking about presentation skills. We're talking about storytelling. I have an airplane story. I boarded the plane one time and I'm sitting in the aisle seat. I know someone's sitting next to me in the window seat, but they're not on the plane yet. I'm playing that game you often play on airplanes. I wonder who's sitting next to me today. A big guy gets on the plane. I mean, big guy gets on the plane. And I said to myself, I wonder if it's him. And it wasn't. He walked by. And then a beautiful woman gets on. And I thought, wow, I wonder if it's her. She walks by. And then I heard my seatmate before I saw him. You know why I heard him? Because people that talk on cell phones talk extra loud. I'm not sure why we started doing this. I used to be irritated when people spoke extra loud on cell phones until I realized you can learn a lot of personal stuff about people just by listening to their telephone calls. He gets to my row and he's saying goodbye to a child that doesn't want to say goodbye to daddy. And he gives me his elevator speech. This guy says to me, like this. And what's scary is I actually know what he wants. He wants me to stand up so he can sit down. He's got an overhead bag. He's got one that goes under the seat. Now he's saying goodbye to a second child that wants to say goodbye to daddy. Both of the bags have a luggage tag of a Michigan manufacturer, a name I think I recognize. The overhead bag goes in. The other one goes under the seat. He slides in. He sits down. And now he's saying goodbye to a third child that does not want to say goodbye to daddy. This kid's screaming into the phone so loud I can hear him from my seat. Finally, we hear the gentleman say something like, sorry son, I've got to go. Daddy loves you. Please don't cry. I'll be home in just a couple of days. Son, please don't cry. They're closing the doors. Bye son, I love you. They shut the doors. My friend hangs up the phone. He sighs as if the weight of the world is leaving his shoulders. And I turned to him and I said, Daddy's leaving home, huh? And he said, oh, you were listening. I said, how could I not? He said, yeah, my kids do not like it when I leave home. I said, how many children do you have? He says, 3. I said, what are their names? He says, we gave them S names, Sandy, Sally, and Scotty. Scotty's the oldest. He was the one that was crying the loudest. I said, that's got to be hard. I said, what do you do for a living? You work at that company that's on the luggage tag? He said, yes, I do. I said, what do you do, sir? He says, I'm a sales manager at my company. I said, how often do you travel? He says, 10 to 12 days a month. I said, wow, with 3 kids, that's amazing and must be hard. I said, why do you have to travel so much? He said, because I got to make sure my people work a full day. And then he got a strange expression on his face. And he said to me, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Now, if you think about this, he's not really sorry he didn't get my name. He's sorry he's given a complete stranger so much personal information. I mean, think about this. I now know the name of his children. I know the ages. I know how many he has. I know how often he travels. I know where he works. I know what he does for a living. And I know his biggest problem at work. He knows nothing about me, and it's time to play catch-up. So he says to me, I'm sorry I didn't get your name. I hold out my hand because I know the person who holds out his hand first has influence in any interaction. I hold out my hand and I said, my name's Angelo Caruso. Now my name by itself is an elevator speech. He starts shaking my hand. He says, Angelo Caruso. He says, that's a fabulous name. He says, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I teach sales managers how to get their people to work a full day. He says, do you have a card? The lady in front of us says, I want one too. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when you know how to tell a good story, you can not only entertain people, but you can educate them about what's important. And what's important in this story is the elevator speech. It's not the 15 seconds, it's the 15 minutes before the 15 seconds. More information about what I do at michaelangelocaruso.com. More information about Rotary at rotary.org.